Breaking news, Meghan Markle has signed a new podcast deal. The car crash that is Archetypes is apparently making its return for season 2. But I'm going to explain in this video why this actually is not a win for our Megsy. Hey up everyone, it's me, Stef, the alternate, your nerdy alternative, and welcome to another dose of the Daily Nerd, where I break down the royal news and gossip of the day that's pretty much got me eye, and oh my goodness, yeah, let's jump straight into this, shall we, because yep, Megsy has got a new podcast partner, yeah, she's been able to Markle another podcast partner, and it's Lemonada. Heard of them? I haven't. After, what was an absolute disastrous year last year for Megsy, where she lost millions of dollars when Spotify was like, bye, laters. Because, you didn't do any work pretty much whatsoever. They were called effing grifters. Loved it. But yep, Megsy is now back in the podcast world. She has signed up to the podcast network Lemonada Media. Comes after Spotify completely dumped her and has her around about middle of 2023. Under the new deal, Lemonada is going to distribute the first season of Archetypes for all audio platforms. So it's not only just going to be on Spotify, it's going to be everywhere. Are people really going to tune into it? No, but it's going to be everywhere, right? And it's also going to develop a new as-yet-untitled original podcast series hosted by, yours truly again, Megsy. Megsy says, quote, I'm proud to now be able to share that I'm joining the brilliant team at Lemonada to continue my love of podcasting. Being able to support a female-founded company with a roster of thought-provoking and highly entertaining podcasts is a fantastic way to kick off 2024. Our plan to re-release Archetypes so that more people can now have access to it, as well as launching a dynamic new podcast, are well in the works. I'm so eager to be able to share it soon, and I'm overjoyed to be joining the Lemonada family. Maybe not so much, because stay tuned, because in a couple of moments, I'm going to explain to you how this actually is not a win for Megsy. How, opinion, conspiracy theory, whatever, she is not overjoyed joining the Lemonada family. And this whole thing about, oh my goodness, I'm going to be joining an all-female founded company. Yeah, guys, she's talking out of her backside. So stay tuned, because I'm going to come with some receipts with that one. In the meantime, though, Lemonada also responded, saying we are beyond honoured, I bet they are, that Meghan has trusted us to help democratise access to Archetypes, and that so many more people around the world will have access to the series soon. And this is the CEO of Lemonada and co-founder Jessica Cordova-Kramer. She also says Meghan's talent as host, creator and conversationalist, is unparalleled. And we are thrilled to co-create a new series with her that fosters her approach to creating art that matters. And Lemonada does have quite an impressive lineup. You've got Julia Louis-Dreyfus, you've got Jeanette McCurdy, you've also got, Samantha Bee, Andy Slaver, a lot of people that are already on Lemonada's roster. But do you know what? I hadn't heard of Lemonada until it was announced just shortly ago that Megsy had signed up to them. But let me get on to the receipts here, why this is not a win for Megsy, and why her whole BS of, oh my goodness, I'm so proud to be able to join for my podcast a female-founded company, is totally out of her backside. You may remember, apologies, around about 6 months ago now, October time, this was all in the works, right? Heavily rumoured that she was nearing a multi-million-dollar make-or-break deal with another podcast platform. And Megsy apparently at the time was thrilled about being on the verge of landing her first major deal. But with who? Audible. Yes, she was angling for a podcast deal based on these reports, with Amazon's Audible. So this whole spiel of, oh my goodness, being able to support a female-founded company and, oh, I'm so excited to join Lemonada, blah, 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 blah. Overjoyed to be joining Lemonada. It's all out of her backside, as far as I'm concerned. Opinion, conspiracy theory, whatever. Because the reports that were coming out a mere 6 months ago was that she was thrilled about being on the verge of landing a deal with Amazon's Audible, which is really the direct competitor for Spotify. So what? 6 months later, all of a sudden, she's, wow, so proud to be joining and supporting a female-founded company and, you know, overjoyed to be joining the Lemonada family. Yeah, right. No, this is a big lose, a big L for Megxie because she shot for the stars and she didn't land there. She didn't land in the stars where she really wanted to go looking at these reports. She didn't get the Amazon deal with Audible. She had to settle with Lemonada. Oh, yeah. And Lemonada being a lesser-known podcast company, whatever you want to call it, because again, I hadn't heard of them until Megxie had joined up with them. I can only imagine that they wouldn't pay as much as, let's say, the likes of Spotify and Amazon's Audible. So, yeah, this is a big L, a big lose, a big loss for Megxie signing up with Lemonada, because like I said, a mere 6 months ago, she was thrilled about just being on the verge of signing with Amazon's Audible. I wonder what happened with that. I'm just asking for a friend, guys. But at the time, a source was saying that, you know, the new venture has the power to make or break a Hollywood dream. This whole idea of her actually signing to Audible. Word of mouth is spreading that it'll lead to a huge payout, even bigger than the millions Spotify splashed out on. So the rumors were that, you know, she was on the verge of signing with Audible and that she was going to get even more money than what she got with Spotify. Again, I don't think Lemonada has the bank account that freaking Amazon's got. I'm just going to put it out there. I'm going to go out on a limb there with that particular statement. But, you know, the insider also said that Megxie was thrilled that she would be in the company of Michelle and Barack Obama. She ain't now. Not with Lemonada. And the source also said that the rumoured deal on the table was a lucrative one and that Megxie was very confident at that point. But the reality is that she's been in a pretty desperate spot. So desperate that, yeah, it looks like that Audible deal, whether there were negotiations or not, based on this report there were, that fell through. She was that desperate that all of a sudden today, breaking news, she signed up to Lemonada. Who again? Who again? Oh, she is desperate, guys. The source says, and this I do believe, losing the Spotify deal was a massive blow to her, not to mention her ego. She's been pretty lost since, but this deal could turn everything around. But this is the thing, right? Yes, losing the Spotify deal was a massive blow, not to mention her ego. And with all the reports coming out 6 months ago that she was on the verge of signing with Audible from Amazon and that not happening, and now she's signing up with a very, very, very lesser known podcast company of sorts, Lemonada, that's got to be a blow to her ego as well. She ain't signed up to a prestigious, lucrative company here that's extremely well known in the podcast space. And I say that based on the notion that, again, I hadn't heard of Lemonada until this breaking news came out and Megxie's like, guess what? My podcast series is coming back and I'm with Lemonada. Who again? Who again? So, yeah, let's just recap. Breaking news. Yeah. Megxie's coming back to the podcast world, but it's with this lesser-known podcast company of sorts called Lemonada, who's going to release Archetypes to all platforms and will also as well be launching a new podcast with Megxie. So, you know, I'm going to be all over that and reporting on that as well. It'll be another weekly series of, the weekly thing that Megxie has said now kind of situation. But yeah, this is a big L for her, a big loss for her, because it was only 6 months ago that it was reported that, you know, she was angling for a deal with Amazon's Audible. Obviously, those negotiations were happening. They obviously fell through. And yeah, she's had to settle for a lesser-known company that will not have the huge bank account that Amazon's got. So, what a blow to Megsy's ego. What a blow to the whole Megsy brand, really, at this point, because she's not signed to a prestigious company here. It's not as prestigious as, let's say, Amazon or Spotify. Is it right, guys? Am I right? Am I wrong? You let me know. If you appreciated this video and you want more, and of course there's going to be more, then make sure you subscribe to join our Alternate tribe. I'll be honest with you, help us get to 100k so we can get that silver play button right there and hopefully cause a Christopher Boozy meltdown on Twitter. Like, share, comment down below your opinion, conspiracy theories, whatever's. Also as well, if you've got some very strong opinions about Megsy's new podcast endeavours, and I bet you do, then make sure you send me a super thanks. It's just below this video right here. We can have a conversation about this because it does guarantee a response from me. And until the next time, you guys, laters.